Hey, everybody. Welcome into the podcast here at PartsCounterGuru.com. Man, we are excited today to have critically acclaimed actor Marlon Young on the show today. Marlon, how the heck are you, my friend?
I'm great, man. I'm well rested from the 16 and a half hour flight a couple of days ago. So slept for 18, so I'm totally fine.
Oh, Jay broke his headphones. He broke his headphones. Jay, we didn't even make it 2 minutes in.
I heard all of that, by the way.
Hey, so Jay, you good? You back? You need me to?
No, I am good.
Dance in front of the. Okay.
I'm back in order. Trust me, I was trying to adjust my elbow, so we're good.
You don't want to see me
man.
dancing in front of the camera. All right, so
no, not at all.
You and Marlon have a pre-existing relationship. I guess we'll call it that, right?
Well, it's a way back situation.
Yes,
it's the first time I've seen Marlon. Yeah, it's been decades. So, but we have a lot in common, and yeah, we do have a lot going way back. So that is for sure.
So, can you? I'm gonna throw it out to maybe. Ooh, I should just ask Marlon. Let him tell his side of it. So,
he's the guest.
So tell me, Marlon, how did you and Jay meet?
So, 40 plus years ago. I'm sorry, man. Giving away your age. But in high school, there was a parts store, Elm Street Auto Parts. It was a Napa parts store where a bunch of the guys worked. They were kind enough to not employ adults to man the counter, so they'd hire us teenagers. And so I worked there. I was one of the guys that worked there. And we had a competing parts store that was about 2 miles away in town, and that was Ryan's Auto Parts.
That's correct.
Is that what it's called?
That's it.
Jay's dad owned that.
Oh, okay. Right.
This is the story all of our audience hears all the time about where I started in this business. So
okay,
yeah.
Well,
that's
now
right.
we have a face with that story now.
Yeah, the connection.
Yeah. So the guys would sometimes we'd bounce. You know, they get tired of working where we were working because we had a woman that we worked for. She was for lack of a better word, she was a tyrant.
Oh, for sure.
So to take a break, Frances Hooker was her name. So to take, I hope she's not listening.
True.
It's true. To take a break from her and still work in the same arena, doing working parts store. Some guys would leave Napa, Elm Street Auto Parts, and go work for Jay's dad. So one guy that did that constantly back and forth was Danny Smiley.
Yeah.
Well,
Smiley.
That would be a really good friend of mine.
Yeah, Danny Smiley was, and I think you ran the same circles with Marvin. Stanley as well was one of them. And when we were talking the other day, there's quite a few of us guys that ran through that system, is what I like to call it.
The system.
Because I left after my dad closed that store, and I went on to work for Frances as well, her and Mr. Earl, and it was quite the experience. And Marlon and I both got quite the chuckle the other day when I explained to him he went in the military before I did, and I think he would say the same thing.
I have to know what branch.
Yeah, Marlon.
I went into the Army.
Okay.
I joined the Army on the delayed entry program in 1979, and then graduated in 80, and then went right to basic training, and did that. And I was an infantryman, but it was a 19 Delta Cavalry Scout. That's why you rode in a armored personnel carrier. So I did that, and then I got stationed at Fort Hood, Texas, and I was reasonably smart, book smart kid in school, right? So I won the first year I was there. I won the soldier competition, and I got recommended to go to flight school to fly helicopters. The general that gave me the award said, "You should be an officer." So, well, I don't have any college. And so you can go to flight school and they'll teach you everything you need to know, and you can become a warrant officer. And I said, well, I've never been up close to a helicopter ever. He goes, no, don't worry about it. So I go to the school. I applied for the school, ended up getting invited to come down to Alabama to be a part of the program. And it turns out I have a knack for all things aviation. So I graduated in top percent in flying fighters for the next 7 years.
So
That's awesome.
I was trying to do a little bit of homework before the show, and the more I started to learn about your bio, which is typically good practice, right? To know your guest a little bit, right? And I'm looking through, of course, all the credits, right? The movie credits, and I think you've got some production credits as well.
Yeah.
And then I'm seeing helicopter pilot. I think you've got or have had motorcycles, and you're a car guy, right?
Yeah.
And I'm he's just one of us, man. I mean, we're just gonna sit here and talk about. I mean, yes, we're gonna plug some stuff that you're working on, but there's no work involved here. We're just hanging out.
We're just a bunch of guys, right? It's kind of unique in that not a lot of people in this industry, in the entertainment industry, have this background. Some of them have studied theater, or they've been in plays, or they come from a family that's a theater or an artistic family. I don't come from any of that, as Jay can tell you. it's all farms and logging and parts stores and mechanics and backwoods stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Very, very rural area. We are both from.
Diversified.
Marlon, one thing that. Yeah, exactly. The one thing that I was, because you graduated in 80, and you were obviously very young when you enlisted, as well as I. I graduated at the age of 17 myself, and wow. I went in a year later in the Air Force. So, but I think I recall, weren't you in some drama classes in high school though?
I did. I was. I've always wanted to be an actor. Just telling the story the other day, somebody who asked me the same question. How'd you start? How'd you get interested in
Good
things?
job,
Right?
Jay. You asked all the common questions.
Hey, man.
But I love telling this. I love telling the story because for me, it's a reasonably interesting story. Reasonably interesting, I guess. Take to get into it. It wasn't that I had a love for entertaining people. It was an escape for me. I'm the youngest of four. We're all 2 years apart, and my parents never got along. I don't know, Jay, did you know my dad, Norris?
Your dad and my dad knew each other, but I think he came into the parts store a few times. When I was younger, but I don't think I met your dad, had conversations with him.
This is interesting. We're all in kind of similar circumstances from that background. Yeah, I understand the escape thing. Yeah.
Got it. Right? So it seemed like they would fight viciously after church on Sunday. It seemed that way anyway. And so my siblings would, escape. You can go out in the woods and play, or go to somebody's house and get away. I escaped into television, and it seemed like every Sunday afternoon on whatever that local station was out of Savannah, and that local
WTOC, man. I remember it well. Yes,
that's funny. Yeah. So on that station, almost every Sunday, there seemed to be a Jerry Lewis movie on. So I escaped into television because I wanted to do what he did for me, right? So I became this Jerry Lewis aficionado. So I've seen all of his movies more than once. And so Jerry made me want to become an actor. So that followed on to after we got into school, even in first grade, right? Even in the first grade, I started doing plays. And by the time we got to high school, and we were in she became Miss French, but it was Betty Still.
Yes, Miss
right?
Betty French. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was Miss Still at the time.
Yeah.
And she through her class we'd put on plays, right? So she taught drama, some drama. So I did a bunch of plays through her. So that and then after I got in the Army, I ended up doing the same thing. I go out and found a theater group. I was stationed in Germany for 4 years. So I found a theater group in Germany. So I'd be flying during the week, and then playing Snoopy in a production of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown at night at the Officers Club.
Nice. Great role, man. Awesome.
It was great. It was great. You know? But that's how I got started in it. That's how I got interested in theater. You know,
when you're that age, man, and you know, back in high school, and you know, in drama class, I mean, did you have that expectation? Is that a goal? Was that a goal for you? This is what I'm doing with my life. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be an actor.
Yes.
Is that so? You were pretty confident at that point. That's what you had a clear path of what you wanted to do then.
Absolutely. I knew what I was gonna do.
That's awesome. Yeah. I wish that I could have. I always wanted to be David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
But,